ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away. Burn away, we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake it through the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
Hello and welcome. Thank you all very much for coming in today. Hope you're all doing wonderful on this fine evening. As far as announcements goes, I don't think we have
The announcements. We have been doing this for about for a bit over 21 months, guys. It has been a beautiful 2 years of rocking and rolling together.
2 years.
I know.
Yeah, the 2-year anniversary was, let's see, I think about 5 or 6 months ago, if I remember
Really?
correctly. It pops up on my Facebook when I go through my old memories. I share all of them there. So
Very
yeah.
good.
Yup.
Yeah.
That's since we're not going to really need more potions for this party, I'm going to allow that sub, meaning that you guys for the one shot get a potion. So one of your nice potions that heals all of you.
Our one-shot characters thank whoever just so.
Yeah. I was about
Yeah.
to say, like, we have enough potions, probably should just be fate points, but that's a good potion too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Because
Mhm.
a lot of those potions are going to be going away not too long from now.
Mhm.
With that being said, as far as announcements go, we don't really have too much. We're going to be going tonight with the other 3 members of the Defenders of the Flame as they, well, most of them search for their spark. First one we have already has her spark, so we'll see what she does with her year time. So we're going to start with Sistrava, go to Asker, and then finish off with Cypher. Nothing bad that'll happen there. But yeah, I had asked Asker, and she hadn't been able to keep up with all of it. Ashra, would you want to do the honors of doing the recap for last session?
Goodness. Was last session when Ashra, Shirku, and it was just Ashra and Shirku, right?
Ashra, Shirku, and Aurora.
And Aurora, of course. And so, in the last session, the party split and went each of their own ways, and each person has to face their own core challenge to unlock their divinity, their future power to shape the world in the way that they wish. And so Ashra returns to paradise, fights a brutal battle to claim the title of Alpha, bind herself to the island, to her people, to her draconic form, and change the island for the wild or for the more magical? And then if Sharko, if you'll take over and saying yours, describing your journey to unlocking your spark. You're muted. Sharko!
And sure.
Sorry about that. On my end, we went all the way to. I keep remembering the first part, not but the last part.
Ashenbrook or
Yeah,
Witherthorn?
thank you, Ashenbrook.
Woohoo.
I keep thinking that I keep getting the name wrong, even though I don't. That's weird. We went to Shirku and his sister went off to Ashenbrook by boat to a very familiar city that we all well know as the first place that we've had to deal with a undead siege. And
Oh,
also
goodness,
found the
that whole
grave of,
thing.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
and found the grave of his father and a certain guide that we all well miss.
So Davia.
Ah,
Mhm.
yes.
Aurora.
From
Oh.
there, we headed down to give his father proper burial. He got his new great bow,
Mhm.
specifically from his father, and found an undead siege going on. From there, he and his sister cleaved the way path all the way into the city, and eventually went inside. There was a Draco Lich attacking the place, and I believe he took down a Lich on his way by.
Yep.
Beyond that, I believe. Oh yeah, he also gained the ability to have multi-swing with a single swing of his weapon, an Echo Strike, if you will. But beyond that, that would be all on my side. I believe that's where we stopped.
That was where we had ended with yours.
Yep.
So Aurora, you want to give us a recap over
Oh,
your journey?
well, Laura got wed.
Hmm.
Things happened after that.
The happily
Uh,
ever after.
Yeah. And then they journeyed to her home, her actual hometown. She doesn't truly consider it that. Killing a bunch of dragons on the way. 'Cause yeah. And then she fought the dragon with her brother's soul in it. And embraced her spark, bringing her brother back into the world.
Yep.
And then went on to go to the front lines and all that. Eventually went back and gave birth and all that. Probably also went to go meet with her students, give them lessons. All that good stuff.
All the good stuff.
All the fun times. And
I
so,
know.
with that takes us to today.
Yes, which we've been waiting for weeks to see how the other half of the party does, because we have, chose violence and happily ever after, chose mourning and violence, and restoring the continent, and just happily ever after. Whee! Married children. Mhm.
Trying to find peace in the war.
Yeah.
Don't know if it'll help, but hopefully when it's Asker's turn, it does.
We'll see.
Good
We're
luck,
gonna do
Empress.
great. We're gonna do great things together.
So, before we get to
Will be
Asker
great.
and Asker's journey, we're going to start with Zastrava, our wonderful snake bard. You find yourselves, as we had left, after composing a beautiful ballad about the leaving dragon, next morning comes, and you find yourself. Are you boarding the ship with them, or are you parting ways before that?
Where was the ship going again?
Ship was going to Rolla, the capital.
I'm gonna stop off at Night Point.
Yeah, because I need to get to my family at some point. But yes, I can head towards the capital.
Okay. So you make your way to the capital along with your friends that you've been traveling with. You end up getting to Rolla. Or do you ask for them to drop you off on your way?
Well, I need time for my recharge anyway, because it's a once a week for revival.
It'd take,
Resurrection.
you'd be able to get to your family in about 3 days, or a little bit less than that, if you're going by the flight.
Okay. Yeah, I'll ask them to stop there.
So the ship does drop you off, and probably that'd be around the spot where Aurora would have been stepping off to. And so you find yourself in your hometown. What is your aim to go and do?
Probably reconnect with my parents, pay them a visit, and see if my brother Azatiel is in port or not, and get everything prepared for my sister's resurrection.
Okay. As you're heading down to the port, you do see your brother's ship. And you also see another ship there, too.
Is it a familiar ship?
It does look very familiar.
Is it in the water?
It is in the water right now, too. You would definitely know it as the Secret Abyss.
Yeah. I will head aboard the Secret Abyss first and look and see who is around.
So, for the most part, as you start heading up, you see a lot of familiar faces. Edit out. There it goes. You do see Nova and Aerith hanging out at the top of the mast, chit-chatting. You see a couple of the other ones whose names I don't think any of you guys really took time to find. But it doesn't look like they've had too much change in their crew. At the top, just kind of relaxing his back and stretching, you see Hidden Depths just starting to look and... Oh, Strava! How's it go?
Oh, it's going swimmingly as swimmingly can be. The capital got attacked by dragons. Our great glorious ruler is dead, and now we have a queen to crown. Lots is going on, and I'm sure you'll be taking advantage of it.
Me? Take advantage of issues? When I can fly faster sail faster than anyone else? Never! I would never take advantage of these issues.
Especially since a certain Dragonborn is likely more than preoccupied with
Oh, I saw that ship flying. There's a reason I'm down here.
Yeah, I would stay on the seas for now, at least until you get out of the main port thoroughfares of Rolla. But
dragons are up there sometimes. It makes it a fun trip.
Very fair. I would imagine dragons don't take kindly to flying boats.
They can care whatever they want. My boat's better.
Ever the
Not
opposite.
this dragon yet.
Well, I have business in town with my brother and family, but The group has parted ways for now to achieve some various objectives, and depending upon when your ship is leaving port, I was hoping I could potentially seek passage as necessary, since you do have the fastest, most accommodating ship.
It is true. And I mean, I do have some business with Nazatil as well.
Good.
He's such a good merchant. He gets his wares around so reliably. It's a fun.
Are you saying you're trying to pull my brother into your illicit deeds again?
Never! I would never! Why would I want to do something like that?
He has a reputation, and if that reputation is tarnished, then it'll be much harder for him to do dealings in the future.
He does have a reputation, but sometimes you just need to spice life up.
Yes, I'm sure cat fur does wonders to spice things up.
Cat. I mean, if you want a taste of cat, we can always have a chat. Oh.
I'm quite happy where I am, but I might have need of your ship.
That's
Where we're going, well, I guess that'll depend on some communications from others.
fine. My ship, my services are always for hire for a good bidder.
Phenomenal. And, seeing as how I have a good relationship with Rollo's rightful future ruler and current uncoronated ruler, I may just be able to get you back in some sort of good graces, should you render your aid.
So there's
How do you feel about becoming a crown consort?
so there's
Not
some
on the list of approved consorts.
there's some
You need a bad boy to mix it up in the harem.
so there's been some issues with that. You're saying like their ruler, like the princess, right?
Yes. Asker. Queen Asker.
Have you made it to see Rolla yet?
Well, that's part of my objective. I need to raise my sister, spread the good word of Asker, and make sure the country is cheering her name by the time she's ready to reveal herself and take the throne.
You're going to have some work ahead of you. The whole country?
Bards are always on tour, aren't they?
It's true, but there's war in the mountains. Was war over here, but there are reasons I'm allowed to park my ship here now.
Well, I thank you for whatever you did, earned or not, towards the war effort.
Oh, I'm hurt, earned or not. I turn away an entire fleet of Asden ships by flying over and bombarding them with my glorious payloads. And you say earned or not. Psh.
Well, that would be earned, but we all know fishermen love to tell their tales.
Make an insight check.
Let me find it again, sorry.
It's hard to tell whether he's telling the truth or not. If 28 is your final answer.
Yeah, I need to save my points.
Yeah, it's hard to tell whether or not he's telling the truth.
It's always hard to tell if Hidden Depths is telling the truth.
Eh.
Well, if you say there is war in the mountains as well, suppose I could keep my tour to the south at first, and hopefully we'll have other more capable members going north to deal with that.
Well, I'll see if I can help. As said,
Come on.
for the right price.
Yes, I'm sure. The right place, as always. I do have a bit stored away, and I'll be more than happy to help rally your crew along the way.
You do play very well. Yeah. Go about your business. We have things to move.
Well, enjoy your moving. So head back down the gangplank.
Okay. So you head over to your brother's merchant ship.
Yes.
As you're looking around, it doesn't take you long to be able to find him. Taller, a little bit more on the bulky side. Not as bulky as your sister, who was in the military, but he's still, decently well fit. He hasn't seen you right now, as it looks like he's messing with some of the merchant items.
Okay, fair. I'll let him finish his business and start striking up a familiar local sea shanty of sorts.
So you start playing, and at first he doesn't think anything of it, but as your voice gets in, he instantly stops, turns. Sestrava! My sister. And comes
As a
over.
team.
He interrupts your playing and just picks you up.
It's nice to see you too, brother. I am quite happy to be back home, but I don't think I'll be here for too long. But I've heard your reputation is as untarnished as always.
So when you say that, he just puts his hand. You're not staying? You've been gone forever! And now you're just going to suddenly leave us. No, not allowed. You are not allowed to just take off again. We already lost our sister. We're not losing another one of our clutch. We thought you were gone.
Well, that's why I'm here, actually, along my varied journeys, and thanks to some quite interesting company, I have come across some spells in my travel. And I do have a song now that will allow me to bring our sister back.
So you get 5 fate points. You can bring her back. Our parents will be very happy.
No parent should survive their child.
I feel like the world has come to that happening a lot.
I've seen it far too often lately. I have to do what I can to set some things to right. So if you don't have to set out too soon, I could definitely use you at home with the parents to help ease them through the ritual, and our sister coming back, I'm sure she'll have plenty of questions, and well, she'll need some help getting back to her business as well. So I'm sure her expertise will be needed along the way. As you know, there's many forces at work right now. These are dangerous times.
There is. Did you see Hidden Depths is back here? Can't believe they're letting him back.
Oh, he's got many, many tricks. And too many lives to count. But he's needed to. And he's already done his fair share. But he has more he'll need to do in order to keep that fine vessel of his. However he got it.
You want to make a deception check on that? However he got it?
For the one and only time in history, Asker sees a lich sneeze.
However he got it, sister?
was a long time ago at
Uh-huh.
this point. And it was precarious times.
So you found a way to make ships fly, and you didn't tell your brother.
We were in a very desperate situation. However, if you help the war efforts and help us put Queen Asker on the throne, perhaps we could have a fleet of flying vessels and do our family name proud.
A family being in charge of a fleet of flying ships would do very well for our family.
Yes. Truly be a fleet of Quetzalcoatl.
Well, you must come and see. We must go see family, and they must be excited to. Have you even told them you're back? You're here?
No, I came off the boat and decided to head to the view and see the cat.
Mom is not going to be happy with this.
No, she's not, but hopefully the news will be good enough to make up for it.
It's true. But let's us hurry on back.
Sounds good.
So, you return. Your family's very happy to see you, as no one had heard from you in a long time. The next couple of days go well. Yes.
I do want to pull my father aside at some point.
Okay.
And I
Not
need
too
to
hard.
ask him if he made any deals with a man named Drisalja.
There was a farmer? I did make a deal to be able to sell his crops around.
I would be careful there and make sure those crops are inspected thoroughly.
His crops were always the finest quality crops.
You want to give me a insight check there, Zastrava?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm gonna use a weapon.
Zastrava just rolled it at 1. That's a little different. There is definitely more to this story.
Are you sure it was just crops, Father? This is very important. It could have consequences for the entire queendom.
I mean, it's only been crops since you've been alive.
I would consider coming up with a reason to delay further shipments until we can get someone to look further into them. He's not who he appears.
I mean, I've known him for years, so...
And has his appearance ever changed as your scales have grayed?
No. But he is the reason that we do so well as a business. There are some times where we went through some rough patches, and he definitely helped us out with that.
Everything that revolves around him comes at a price. Trust me, I've learned far too much about making deals with unsavory characters. But that's all I can do for now. I'm not sure there's much more I can help with on that front, other than to say be very cautious in your dealings with him.
I'm very well aware of the possible effects of it. But everything is good now. Everything has been good for years.
Let's hope it continues. For your sake and the sake of our family life.
He lets the conversation end there, and
Sounds good.
So you go about the next week, next 3-4 days. Time passes. They have good meals brought in, made all the time. Your parents are very happy to have you back. And then comes the day that your harp has fully recharged.
Phenomenal. Time to start casting. We said time has passed, right?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Let me make a harp check.
That is enough.
Awesome. And do I don't need components, right, for the harp's version?
Nope. Once per week you are allowed one free res.
Awesome. Well, I will set her sword on the table and her hairbrush and other accoutrements of her and who she was, along with I think we also got like a pile of ash as well. Everything out in front on the large like kitchen table that all of us used to sit around when we were younger and all still at home. So more than enough for someone to come back on. And I would have had our mother have her like favorite meal prepared and ready to go, so she'll wake up to familiar smells and good things that way. And then I will begin singing the song of true resurrection, weaving in important details about her life and her accomplishments, and closing with a bit about how she passed and how all of us would like her to come back and call her back.
Give me a performance check on that. Okay. That'll give you advantage on this next check. I need you to just roll me a straight d20 roll. Advantage. As you watch as you're making this performance and your music is pushing into all of the different things, you watch as her body starts to form.
No, we're gonna use a lucky. Can I?
Yes.
And another.
So you've rolled a 4, a 1, a 3.
Dang. Is this like the first half of this finale is everyone lives and the second half everyone dies?
I
So
hope not.
Zastrava, as you're going in doing this ritual, you start to feel something else on the other side pulling back. So you're in a tug-of-war with your sister's soul. You see her body. It is now formed. But for a moment, you don't see her soul. Like, she's just... There's some breath, but her eyes haven't opened. And for a second, you see many eyes just opening spiritually in front of you. Green, broken mirrors. I hung more souls. And you shut it out. And you pull just your sister's soul out from whatever this thing was. And you watch as your sister Daisha a look of fear on her face. But she is here. She's alive. Your mom rushes up to her, just collapsing over her, crying.
Strava's gonna like wipe some sweat from her brow and set the heart down to the side and just whisper under her breath, I'm going to need to get some sort of communication to Cypher. And unfortunately probably have Daisha give me an account. Thinking back to kind of what the goblin we rezzed was saying as well. Something is definitely not right with death. And thankfully I know who to call.
You have sending? Is this one? I know you
No,
never.
but I have a flying ship.
True. Very, very true.
I definitely do not have. You know what I do have though, which I have like never used. I technically have animal friendship.
Yeah, you could make an animal friend and send a bird to him.
Yeah.
Tweet, tweet.
Tweet, tweet.
Just send a very fast garden snake.
Very fast guard snake.
But no. For Cypher, a bat.
The bat goes screech. It turns into Batman.
But putting that off to the side for now, I'm going to also join my family in, welcoming back Daisha, making sure we have a very good meal and evening together and getting her time to settle back into life before doing anything else.
Okay. So you spend some time with your family, getting her back on her feet. It doesn't take her long. She ends up she spends maybe like 3 weeks there, and then you can tell that Daisha gets a little restless. Especially when Daisha hears about the war front going on right now. At that point, she's pretty quick to actually head out and meet up with a couple of different soldiers and head over towards the war front.
Perfect. And before she does, I want to ask her a little bit more, obviously privately, to get an accounting to send out to Cypher of what she saw, considering she was on the other side much longer.
At first,
hopefully to give him some information.
As you asked Daisha that, at first, when I had first died, I was in Celestia. I was in I say Celestia. She doesn't say that. She's a field. Had everything I could ever want. Saw great grandma and family I had never known. Everything was peaceful. And then, I don't know how, just ended up it got fractured. And I fell. A lot of us fell. Not all of us, but some of the people were still there. But I fell into this thing. And for a second, I know Daisha stats. For a second, it almost looks like you lost her to the coma again.
Put a hand on her and cast some steadying magic, giving her some healing words through her.
There's this giant creature with green eyes, a mouth that could swallow the world. We all fell into it. And then I just remembered hearing your voice singing and feeling. It was one of these worst. I would rather fight Kai 3 million times than go and deal with this thing for a second.
Well, hopefully you shall never have to deal with it. I have a very close friend, my closest friend, who should be able to unravel this disgrace. So I'll send him a message tonight and hope that he'll be able to do something about it.
Appreciate that. I don't know if there is anything you can do about it.
Definitely not me, but he is the most wise, conniving dragonborn I know. If anyone can do anything about it, he can.
For the second time in the world history, a lich has sneezed. Considering that they're made.
He's fought death several times at this point himself. And come out, well, I won't say unscathed, but less than most would.
I wish him luck.
As do I. As do I.
What will you be doing as... Well, I'm leaving.
Well, you're going to the war front, and I'm going out to fight, well, the type of war that I can fight. An information war. As you know, well, no, as you have recently found out, we have lost the past ruler of Rolla, and now we need to make sure that Queen Asker is able to ascend with as little difficulty as possible. The country's in turmoil and we need a strong ruler, and she is the strongest that I know. So I need to do my part and go around the countryside and stoke the folk to her favor.
I wish you luck with that. I hope to see you again soon.
Yes. You'd better come back in one piece this time. Parents might not forgive us if we don't.
I feel like your path is more dangerous than mine on that.
Just slightly less pointy.
And she gives you a big hug, lifting you up. And she takes off. And she ends up finding and fighting alongside Aurora for a little bit on the front lines. But that's for a different tale. The Strava.
Yes.
You find yourself currently on Rolla. So where are you going? How are you getting there?
Well, I think I'll probably talk to my brother and Hidden Depths and see about trying to hit the various coastal cities that should be well accustomed to various bards, going to their taverns, and then try to work my way towards the country's interior, eventually heading towards the capital.
Okay. As you're heading towards the interior, are you going to be flying?
I mean, if I have to myself, yes, but hopefully on some sort of flying vessel.
I was assuming you were. That was my question. Was, are you going within depths the entire time?
Yeah, that's kind of the plan, is attempting to get him to go against the dragons and underneath the dragons and try that any of them might be left, and get me from city to city.
So, you've used 1 month, you have 11 more months. How many places are you trying to hit? Are you trying to hit all of the cities?
I mean, if possible, I'd like to hit all of the ones with like the major populaces. I think we have how many in our area? I think it'd have to be like, well, I only have, you said what, like
11 months.
11 months there. I definitely know there are more than 11 cities. So I'd probably be trying to spend a couple weeks in as many as possible, doing what I can to tell the story of Asker.
So yours is gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna need you to make 11 performance checks.
Hope they're better than the previous ones.
You have advantage on all of them. You cannot use lucky on all of them.
Okay.
That is, your advantage is giving you lucky.
Perfect. Well, we'll start in the first city.
Okay.
Good. 1.
So a 39, a 38.
38. Ooh.
Huh?
35. 35. 37. 28, is that your final answer?
Oh, for that one, can I use
You can use fate points.
all right, I'll use like 5 fate points on that one.
Okay. 6. And a nat 20. Nice.
They love Queen Asker there. We will use
Appreciate how much help I'm getting from everyone. It means a lot.
It's gonna be needed.
I need it.
yeah. I'll use another 5 for that one.
Okay.
And then did Shirku pass any fate points out to me?
You got 5
Yes.
fate points earlier.
I passed over. I continued the trend and passed over all the fate points I had remaining to the next
I
person
had
that was
some
alive.
from today. I don't know how much Shirku had. Do you know how
I
much you had?
I had 59.
Hey,
So he
yo,
would have sent
have
over
fun.
58.
Okay. I'll take
Oh,
another.
you still have one.
I'll take 40. I have like none. So I'll put another 5 into that one as well.
Okay.
Gonna definitely put at least 10 into that one.
Okay.
Where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
2 more.
10.
And I will put 5 into that one.
Okay.
And
Okay.
another 5 into that one.
So, your next 11 months, you spend your time going throughout the major cities, flying as fast as you can to all of them, spreading as much word about Asker as you can.
5
Asker,
in.
she just had 11 successes for you, which basically gives you 11 luck points for your thing.
Ooh. no.
where you can use Lucky on 11 different things.
I'm going to need it. The one that you rolled a 20 on is getting like the biggest train station.
Yes, I forgot. Universal Transport.
Get a name for that one.
Universal Transport.
That one was Arcadia.
Oh, the flying city that you visited before.
Nope, that's Imagina.
Oh.
Ah.
Arcadia
Which one's
is
Arcadia?
where
Which number?
the number 4.
That works out fairly well, as that is definitely the best place for the fucking hub. I don't need the hub to be in Rolla. We're gonna expand a little bit.
Arcadia is also where like all of the wizard schools are, the bard schools are.
My brother was like totally like prestidigitating in the crowd that night.
Might have run into Cypher that day.
Going to make that one. That is going to be the new New York. We're gonna make that New York.
Is there anything specific with a conversation with Hidden Depths you want to have, or any other specific things you want to have for throughout the next year?
I don't think so. Just essentially saying, you know, like, there's going to be new rule happening. This is a good opportunity to, you know, turn over a new leaf, whether or not that's a fully honest leaf or not. But there's lots of opportunity, and he does love to seize opportunity. And then basically asking him to take me to Rolla so I can be of service to Asker at her side now that I've done what I can.
Give me a persuasion check. No advantage, no luck. Goddess of Fate.
Oh,
Not terrible.
27. Is 27 your final answer?
Am I allowed to use fate points?
You are allowed to use fate points, not allowed to use luck.
Alright, I will put my last 15 into there.
So that brings it to 42. Okay. You can make a note here.
So rude.
And you'll get to find out what that is later. Okay. You make it to Rolla. And well, Strava, it was fun having you here.
Such a clean transition. Everybody applaud him.
Everyone else chooses violence as Estrava just plays across the city and finds a new hub, a new capital, perhaps, depending on how Rolla's devastation went. A new, shining, beating heart for the Empire, for which Asker will rule with an iron grasp. And thus, we wait with bated breath to see her true path to ascension.
We believe in you, Asker!
You can do it!
You can do it!
it's funny because it may be an iron grasp, but not the iron like people are going to think.
So,
And I am cashing in that for the fate points for Asker.
5 sets of fate points for her?
Mhm.
3. Nope.
There goes the die.
2, 5, 9, 11, and 15. 15 fate points, Asker.
Oh yeah, and how many does... or no, because Zestrava had to use up all of hers to prepare, but this is all for Asker.
Yep.
I have 11 luckies too, which I'm going to mark down on this sheet.
So, Asker. Princess Ironguard.
That would be me.
We last left with you, as you
Brown
were
princess.
anxiously and excitedly awaiting Dragon Daddy to come and take you to Rolla.
My husbando! So
When a
I-
charming...
No one can tell me I can't have a relation.
You're awaiting your
door.
husbando, but truly, a charming, roguish captain comes by to sweep you off your feet first.
So
I'm helping, don't worry.
you're good. As I don't think I described too much of the scene as far as how Admiral Gojira is looking right now, did I? I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
I was
I think
kind
you
of
just
brief
said he
with
was
it.
coming. Then it was like ship leaving wherever the fuck he was to come rush as fast to pick us up.
So as the ship comes and starts to land, you do see it has bits of it, the outside have ice just sprayed across it. Some spots are charred black by either fire or acid. It's been through battles. Admiral Gojira, still as strong as ever, still as tall as ever, he is missing his left eye now. As you see that he was cut by a dragon, either by a mouth or claw. Yeah.
He's even more attractive now. Now he's battle scarred.
Asker, Iron God. You're alive.
Asker's just running straight up to him and just absolutely full arm barreling into him, just hugging him as hard as she can.
You go as hard as you can, and he goes back a bit just to soften your blow, because he is, well, a wall.
Yes, he is.
I had thought that all of the Iron Guards were gone.
Technically speaking, we were. I was just temporarily shunted into some kind of in-between existences. Escaping a dreadnought, I believe is what Cypher called them. I had never read a book about them ever, so I have very little idea of what they were. But just giant space whale, but bigger, with more teeth. We avoided them for the most part, but it seems that what was a short period of time to us was considerably longer here.
Well, I am glad to take you back to roll, but well, you'll see when we get there.
I hear that Rola's not quite looking its best anymore.
The main force that we could tell of the dragons charged Rolla and decimated the, ruling class district.
Asker's just gonna shrug, there are more important people than just the ruling class in Rolla.
That includes all of your...
I was sort of warned that, and I was hoping that it was just kind of the rumor. Is all of the family actually gone? Because I know, I don't have my fucking notes here for my two older siblings who are in the wizard place.
All of them. It's 2 months ago, they were targeted.
I have a feeling I know why. Dragons came at the behest of the people attempting to stop us. It would be wrong of them not to target the families. I just sort of hoped that, it was the rumor that they had all died. Where you read a book and it's the court's told that they're all dead, but then, last 2 chapters, they come back and it's the big celebration.
He wraps his arms around you. I'm sorry for your loss.
Asker's just gonna hug back a little tighter. You can see her sort of holding back tears, and she's just I have 100 more important things to do for the people of Rolla right now than to be sad about them not being here. we have work to do, unfortunately. It sounds like war has been happening with our neighbors to the north, as they assumedly saw the sign of us being gone as the chance to attack.
Mahout has started the war again. But for now, that is not your problem. And he's going to pick you up and take you to his quarters. And as he's doing that, he's going to tell his crew, Get everyone on board, and we are heading out.
Asker's dreams have come true!
That is great.
Asker's probably freaking out right now, I'm guessing.
Yes!
Yes, we get another happily ever after arc.
Asker,
Yep.
throughout the next couple of days, and on the flight there, Rojiro does spend time with you. As that there is no one to tell him no anymore, no one that he has to deal with.
Yes!
I mean, Cypher's there. He could be annoying.
Yeah.
Doesn't Cypher want them to have a royal bloodline?
There are other ways. I've got backup plans.
Jesus!
Interesting.
Asker's just fucking excited that she gets to spend time with Gojira. It's happening!
That being said, it's an interesting flight to Rolla. You do end up dropping a couple of people off. Namely Zastrava, Cypher, and Aurora.
No, Cypher travels. He plans to help rebuild Rolla.
Oh, you're going to Rolla first, Cypher?
Well, maybe Cypher is. There's a Cypher.
Okay.
When we're dropping Zastrava off, do I see Hidden Depths ship while we're there for like the half a day?
You guys aren't even there a half a day. Like, it's
That's
literally... Whee!
Asker needs like 10 minutes. She's just literally going to run up to fucking Hidden Depths ship, run onto the deck, screaming his name until he pops up out of fucking somewhere, because he's always popping up out of fucking somewhere.
So, what I'm gonna say happened is you guys landed, dropped her off, took off, you saw the ship, had him circle around, come back down. And as you kind of circle down and around, you kind of see, in the top, you see Nova and... Sorry, names are hard. Nova and Aerith, see the ship flying. Captain! And, like, all the pirates start to scramble.
Asker, seeing Nova, has a letter for Nova, so she's gonna throw a letter at Nova.
Nova, like, how are you throwing the letter?
We have to get close enough to go talk to them, so I just like...
They're in the
I have
top.
2 letters. I have a letter for Nova, so I can fly. I fly down for half a second. I'm throwing Nova a letter, and then I'm going to look Hidden Depths in the face and go, "You're stupid, but I need your help." And then I'm going to throw him a letter, and then I'm going to fly back up to my own ship.
I hope Hidden Depths is very confused.
Alright. What is the letter to Nova first?
The letter to Nova first is that her and her wife will be invited into the royal consort chambers if they ever wish to come once they are built.
Give me a persuasion check.
I've been thinking about all of our past adventures of who Asker was going to put into these. Please roll well. I'm happy enough with that.
Sorry, there's a question about those two that I haven't answered to myself, so I'm debating that answer. I will get back to that later. Nova and Aerith. Okay. And okay, what does a Hidden Depths letter say?
Hidden Depths letter says that I am presuming him to probably be currently the richest man in the world right now, because I know him. And as such, there is a high likelihood that whilst rebuilding the capital, I'm going to need someone to help me back up finances, and as such, I would like to come to some kind of agreement in terms with him on such a thing. I figured if I didn't insult him, that he wasn't going to open this letter. But he's considerably more likely to look at it out of damned confusion. Because he doesn't like me to begin with.
Are you doing a deception or persuasion?
That's persuasion.
Okay.
I have every intention of turning that cat into my own personal loan shark.
Oh, I'm sure he abuses it.
Zastrava, so you know you didn't have to pay Hidden Depths anything? None of your money went to Hidden Depths?
Hidden Depths is going to become my own personal privateer force at some point. Been watching a lot of One Piece. Like, CP9 is what I inspire as to what I am going to turn Hidden Depths into. He is going to be a government agency that no one knows about, no one talks about, but gets sent on the missions that I need done without, direct government approval for.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit of chaos thrown in there.
I wouldn't expect anything less of him, but also, he's just like, I need money, and I assume the dragon stole some portion of the money out of Rolla. There's gotta be fucking vaults hidden deep under the castle somewhere that they probably didn't quite get to, but we'll see when we get there. But I know for a fact that Hidden Depths has money on that boat.
On the boat, you're cute. Okay. So you then fly back up to your ship? Okay.
Yep.
And you guys continue to fly north to Rolla. So, Asker, you never were a part of the game in the previous campaign when it got to actually seeing Rolla, were you? You were gone by that point, weren't you?
Think so.
Okay. So as you start getting near Rolla, it's time for me to actually describe what you know of Rolla. Rolla is a 20-mile wide radius city. It's set up with the walls in a circle, so 40 miles wide diameter. You have your first outside set of walls that basically go, I think, almost as tall as a mountain, that you have the different watchtowers on and everything like that. There are 4 entrances into the city at each of the cardinal directions. At about 5 miles out, you have another circle that's surrounded, and there are some rivers going throughout Rolla and stuff like that too. The water has been set up as a different set of walls, basically, and then another set of walls behind the river, so it's kind of like a moat. It is a moat. Where you then have your, not necessarily your, top class elite, but your upper middle class. Better merchants, everything like that, more reputable. And then at about a mile around, you have where the castle used to be, where the halls used to be, where you grew up in. Everything in that mile was another circle. That inner circle, and was also where the largest watchtower used to be in Rolla. That inner circle is gone. Raised to the ground, and even lower. Around where that wall used to be, because each of these walls was surrounded by a river. The river's just kind of gone, and it looks like there's just waterfalls going into the center of Rolla now. Eventually, probably by the end of this year, unless something's done about it, there's just going to be a lake in the center of Rolla.
We can work with that.
As you start to fly over, you hear initially some panic going across the streets, because there's like, oh, something's coming, and
Things in the sky, probably not everyone's favorite thing right now.
also, so you have 15 miles of radius of the city that's just like commoners, lower middle class. There's also, on each side of the 4 spots, there's people out there in different like makeshift homes and stuff like that have just found living close to it. Kind of similar to what you had in Witherthorn.
Okay.
But much larger, because a lot more.
Yes.
Admiral Gajira takes you to over the center, and you can kind of see down where the vault for Rolla would have been. It's just emptiness now. Like it's been burnt and destroyed and pushed down underneath the ground. You were right
This is
enough.
going to be a very nice lake.
I admire your optimism. And he's gonna fly his ship down and kind of park it. Since it can park in the air. What do you do, Asker?
As we come down, can I please be level 20 so I can use my level 20 ability for a little extra flair here?
Sure.
All right. Level 20. Asker takes the Exalted Champion's presence and goes angel mode. So I am the closest thing to seeing Ellen walk the earth that people have ever seen right now. I'm going to just, like, the wings have just this, like, afterglow effect of just brilliant light behind them. Asker has just a crown of light coming off. She is just a whole fucking it's beautiful. Just over the top display. Asker is going to fly up, and I believe that I can use something to trying to find anything to make my voice louder. Just megaphone it, basically.
As you're trying to think of something, you watch as Cypher points up to you, and you feel you're like, huh. And then as you say, huh, it like reverberates throughout the Rolla.
Perfect. That was exactly what I was going for. I was like, I don't remember if I have that ability. But so, Asker just kind of like dead center of the city is just above the ship, flying up in this crazy giant display, just goes, Rolla, I have returned for you. I am sorry that your princess was gone for so long. I promise you now, upon this soil we shall rebuild stronger and protect everyone here.
Rolla, I have returned for you.
Asker. Without using advantage. Just regular straight roll. Give me a persuasion check.
All of my rolls are set up to have the whatever, so just use the one on the left. Go back to that thing. I was looking at something else.
It did the thing. It rolled.
So
you 24.
I'm going to use 16 of my fate points.
Pop that up to a 40.
Bump that up to a 40.
You watch as the people of Rolla start to come out and just. City was busy, and now it's just kind of stopped. You having that many people just stop to look and focus on you.
It's a very strange feeling for Asker. She is not used to this at all. She is going to pull out that necklace that her grandfather gave her. That was the symbolism of whatever. With everyone fucking paying attention now, she is just going to... This is not nearly as well set up as it normally is. And to figure out a new system. Asger is just going to put it over her head and just go, "You are now all under the protection of Queen Asger. We shall raise this city to become better than it ever could be before. And by raising ourselves, we shall raise this entire country to be better than it could ever be before. To raise this country to be better than it could be. To raise this world to be better than it ever could be before."
Raise this world better than it ever could be before.
You start to see some people at the forming in the front and kind of pushing their way through the front of the crowds. And you actually start to see some familiar faces, like at the forefront of it, of just some people that you know were basically in charge of different parts of life. So some of the ruling class still survived.
Aha! They all haven't died. That's great. I'm gonna
Ruling
need those
class.
people.
Different, little bit different than roll, you know. Hi, bro. Not being a pain. Pepper's like, I wanna get attention, so I'm gonna do anything I can to get attention.
The city is not as bad off as I thought it was going to be, if I'm being completely honest. I figured more of it would be decimated.
There's a reason for that.
We got back in time.
Well, that and you're kind of were on the ship that kind of saved it. from
That's
being
fair.
completely
That ship is a great thing. I've had some great dates on it so far.
So, how do you go about starting to rebuild Rolla?
Okay, so our rebuildment efforts are going to include, I'm going to let this top part just become a lake. At some point, I'm going to put a flying castle above this lake, and that is not a concern for now. That's a concern for many years from now. But I just want to say that if anyone is ever wondering why I'm not going to fix the giant hole at the top of this fucking thing, I think that having a flying castle on top of the lake would be cool. Asger, after getting back down and like actually landing and back to normal and all of that kind of stuff, is just going to be, well, we have a new government to set up now. This should be an interesting endeavor. The city is not as bad off as I was expecting, but Asger is going to go to work with hopefully some money from Hidden Depths. Is going to start offering government-funded loans to people to help build new enterprise at low interest rates to them from Asger. I'm going to set up a House of Commons and a House of Lords and my own World Council that also will be having some headquarters built here. And it's not important right now, but Asger is going to name Cypher as Asger's personal counsel towards magic of the city of Rolla. When Aurora eventually gets here, she will be promoted to one of my lead generals. Dragon Daddy, assuming that our dates and things are still going well, is going to be, getting his own promotions. All sorts of promotions.
Nice.
We are going to build infrastructure. So much infrastructure. Now seeing that not as many people were homeless as I was expecting them to be, I am still going to build some level of community housing at like government-run community housing that's actually well-run, and Asger will be personally making sure that those are well-run. Cypher has offered their wonderful skeletons to help build many of these projects for me. So, I'm just going to create a workforce that is just skeletons wearing generally baggy clothes so that they look like people more or less to cause less general panic. But we're going to build trains and industrial revolutionize this goddamn place. Magical industrial revolution.
So, as that's going on, it takes you about 3 months to get most of that started going. You do start to have some of your people coming and telling you about the problems of Rolla, about how Ozda is invading, that there seems to be a large war going in the mountains, and so there seems to be someone helping to churn that fight. But it's still
To turn that fight which direction?
going, repelling Asda,
Gotcha.
striking deeper into it.
Asker is going to take her personal counsel and high-level generals and a small group of assumedly elitely trained soldiers to go personally head to the front lines to go see what's happening there. After she has the base work of what's happening in town, she is going to personally go join the front line.
Okay. So as you end up getting there, it takes a little bit of time. You end up finding Aurora currently starting to show at this point. And is actually going and fighting on the front line, which is your...
As soon as Asker sees Aurora, she is also getting giant tunnel hugged.
At this point, I also have to ask, is Asker starting to show at all?
Probably.
Just have to ask.
Just a little bit. She's probably, it was not as fast as some people, so I'm like a couple months behind you. So it's still fairly new, but we're just starting to, the early signs.
Yeah, and Aurora, with her new life powers, can probably sense the life budding in you.
Yep.
So, she'll let you know of that.
Asker's gonna be so excited. She was thinking that might have been the case, but she hadn't fucking confirmed it yet, so... Is it good?
She sadly turned down Cypher's arcane ritual to check for pregnancy. He only evolved 2 skulls.
Yeah, I can't imagine why Asker would have turned that down. Or more presumably, Asker's new husband would have turned that down.
So with the both of you and the Cypher all there kind of with the war effort right now. And actually at this point you do end up finding a Zestrava as well, who's around that area and is...
Zestrava also gets tunnel hugged. Asker's so excited to see all of you, even if it's only been a couple of months.
It's good. It's much different from spending every day together.
Quite unfortunate none of you could make it to my wedding, though.
I'm sure.
We'll have another wedding for you. Don't you worry. And this one will be held at the new capital.
You end up making your way pretty decently far into Asda to push back and break the lines. And actually do get to a point where it basically stops the war for now. And that leads you to going back to Rolla. Or do you push forward and push into Asda?
Asker is planning to make it to the capital of Asda.
As an army or as just you and probably your ship?
Me and the leadership with a small enough group to keep us safe, if, whatever else. But Asker has, every intention of I am going to the top of Ozda's leadership form to discuss their continued plans, and depending on their reactions to what they wish to do is going to depend on how this relationship continues.
So you, Aurora, the Cypher clone, or whatever Cypher you end up having on your Cypher clone. Okay.
There's always a Cypher clone.
Make your way on the Admiral Gojira's ship, the Nefarian. Flying over, and you, as you're flying over, you do see the broken Ozda military, like, seeing you and running through the sand far away from you. They've learned that the ship equals death.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, you don't like that? I don't like you messing around with what you've been messing around. So you make your way to Ozda. The capital of Ozda is Ozda. Yeah,
Ozda is Ozda.
And you see Mahout's, trying to think of the words, they're not coming to me. You see his home, his castle, the center of it, I can't think of the word of it. Not castle, but...
Whose dream was it that he made a deal with the Man of Mirrors?
It was Mahout. Oh, whose dream? The Strava?
Did Strava ever tell me about that?
Probably once I saw you and you were deciding to go north.
That's fair.
And on the top of one of the rooms, you do see a elegantly dressed man that Zastrava had described to you as Mahout, watching as the ship is coming into his capital.
Esker is going to direct the ship directly at wherever the fuck he is.
You head that way, and
No.
you see he's wary, but he doesn't seem overly scared still right now as your ship kind of flies up and kind of gets to perpendicular with him.
That was a mistake. Asker is just going to come up to the edge and just go, I have heard that we had seen visions of you creating a deal with the Man of Mirrors to attempt to gain enough power to attempt to push back on the Empire south of you that you wish to conquer over your lack of belief in the true ascension of Ellen.
As he hears the name Ellen, and he spits out a wad of, well, loogie. Just like, Ellen is nothing. Because of your lack of faith in Plomine, this world has fallen.
Asker's gonna go full angel mode in front of him, and then is just going to spear.
As you throw your spear, he does stop it in the air, and it returns to you as it does. See, you can't even take the truth. You know that it's your fault for Plomine's fall. The fires went out because of you. And as he's saying this, you kind of hear that his voice too has been amplified across all of Ozda.
Because of you.
Unfortunately, that is closer to your fault. The man you wish to make a deal with is the one who destroyed those fires, and we are bringing them back. But there is no need of you in this world any longer, as that there is no way to end that deal you have created, except for with your life. If you wish to continue to protect your people, lay it down now at my feet, and we shall be merciful towards them.
Lay it down now, and we will be merciful to them.
You think that you can take me?
I have destroyed every enemy I have come across including gods before you. If you think yourself to be some form of god, then yes, I feel quite confident in your destruction.
And he takes a step into open air, and just his foot finds placement. He walks to you, Asker. If you wish to challenge me, well, will you be taking the rest of this pitiful... Will I be taking this rest of this pitiful ship down with you?
Asker just, that is up to them. They are their own people, they make their own decisions. That ship has seen more battles than your fancy dress coat has.
Okay.
Asker Sharp Tongue continues.
Interesting.
Rip
Well-
and tear until the job is done.
This was not how I expected this to go.
You didn't expect me to come for the
Sorta.
man who was attempting to take over my kingdom?
I expected a little bit of diplomacy, but that was old Asker.
I will have diplomacy with whoever decides to take up his place. He made a deal with the Man of Mirrors. I cannot keep him alive.
He goes like this, and you watch as a spectral shadow hand kind of goes over the ship, and he pulls it down, so that only you and him are standing eye to eye right now. You can't deal with it. I am beyond your power, heretic! Asker, how are you initiating combat?
Well, spear's back in my hand and he's up in my face, so he's getting stabbed.
So you're just making an attack? This is
Yeah.
going to be similar to Ashra, similar to Aurora, similar to... Yeah, those were the two. Shirkud had a little bit of it. This is a skill challenge. First to 10 successes on this wins.
Beautiful.
So you're attacking? Just doing a straight up
Do you
attack?
do a specific skill or just the attack roll?
Your choice.
Proficiency bonus go up at 20?
Nope.
That's right.
My 3? Is that your final answer?
I'll put 2 into that to bump it up to 25.
So 25. You try and acrobatically like flip over and fly over to his other side, and you watch as an eye pops out of the back of his skull looking at you. And
I
he
should have known he'd be using his dark powers.
dodges right out of the way of your spear.
You call me a fucking heretic.
As said, because of you I had to look to power to bring Plomine back. And he takes his hand and you watch his energy wells up in it, and he's going to make an Arcana check. As the energy blast flies at you, you watch as it just goes across and you are able to dodge across it. So no one has a success yet. What do you do, Asker?
More of this. God damn it. I'm going to use one of my 11 luckies to do it again. There we go.
That's more like it.
Flip over his attack, throw your spear, and you watch as it digs into him, and you kind of run up to it and like grab it and pull it down to like kind of injure him and pull, like kind of try and get his guts to spread.
And you know we're putting smite on that.
Yep.
The highest level of smite she could do.
I'm not worried about that part.
I know.
But yes.
Asger will just look at him and just be like, and how successfully have you brought Plomine back? Your lands still seem to be cursed here.
We were doing fine. And then you caused something to snuff out Plomine's light entirely. And as he says that, he goes through and has fire launch up beneath you, and it almost starts to singe your boots, but you're able to get back fast enough. What do you do, Asker? Same thing, acrobatics?
Yeah. Asger's acrobatics is her fighting style.
I will remind you, every time you do it, DC
You
does
want to mix
go
it
up.
up and try other like ways of attacks, like persuading.
You
the
can just
people,
roll for your
using
attack.
Intimidation, doing
Yeah.
just your regular attack, doing spells.
That's fair. I should probably start doing
And
that.
you can probably use your smite now
Mm-hmm.
with your magic check to see if that passes.
That'll be for next time, because the 26 will fail.
That's what I figured.
So you go and try and spear in and rush into him again. And this time he just flies up. And you watch as he flying up, he grabs a little bit of the cloud, it looks like. And just, you watch as it starts to try and twirl around and entangle you. I am rolling really horribly. But you're able to break out of it. And just not be affected by that as he tried to turn the cloud tangible against you.
Asger will just look at him and just go, Ellen's light has made me quite resistant to such things.
$29?
I'll send 1 point to make that 30.
Okay. I want to say I might have been, by this point, to get you here, it's been probably about, you're about at your 10th month or so now.
Okay,
With all of the
that's
war
generally
and
what I
stuff.
figured. My goal is to completely snuff out the revolution in Ozda and bring them in so that we can be one continent united.
Throw your spear and it kind of digs into him again, and he starts to feel it burn, and then it flashes out as he tried to grab it. You also get 6 fate points.
You're all the best. Asger will just look at him and just, do you feel Ellen's light burning you now? You are the corrupted being of your own actions.
You wanna do? Ellen's light is nothing. That false god of yours doesn't exist. And he starts to coalesce energy, and you start to feel a burn inside of you. Gonna do religion. Better. And you watch as it starts to burn, and you see an eye starting to appear on your chest.
Oh, that's good.
Asger is going to, clutching her shield, she is going to reach into that fire gem on top of her shield and just be, let me return that favor of yours. I'll spend 8 points to bring that up to 30.
30? Okay, that is. As you go and you clutch and pray into the light, are you doing a specific spell or were you just doing magic?
I was using the shield. Any damage he did to me was reversed equally onto him.
Nice. So
That fire gem is amazing!
you watch as a eye of. So your eye, as it's starting to coalesce, is the green Lestrat's eye. The eye around his chest is an eye of fire, and it just burns into him, scarring him.
It doesn't feel great, does it?
I'm going to enjoy murdering you and ripping you limb from limb. And he's going to come in, and as he's coming in, you watch as his hands become claws with dark energy. As he goes to hit it, You watch as someone else joins the fight on your side. Gojira grabs his hands and is like, "Leave her alone." It's your turn. What do you and Admiral Gojira do?
I'm gonna persuasion check. I'm gonna spend a single point to bump that up to 30, and Asker is just going to give him just her best. Fucking destroy him, babe! I'm giving him the most powerful buff I possibly can. A husband with their wife's full fucking support to use violence.
So he, right now they're like kind of hands are clasped and like in a struggle, and he just starts to overpower. And I should bring up, Mahout is not a small guy,
I didn't think he would be.
but compared to Gojira, everyone is a small guy, as he just starts to and is overpowering him and starts to break his hands. Mahout, seeing this, that is a success for Asker. Your soul is forfeit! And he's going to use some energy on Dragon Daddy.
07.
You watch as he says that. The eye appears on Gojira and expands. And Gojira is completely encased in the eye now. And starts to fly up. The eye starts to fly up into the air, encasing him. What do you do, Asker? That was 2 successes for Mahout. You want to use a lucky to get that nat 20?
I sure do.
I will let you use that lucky to get that nat 20.
Thanks.
How are you
Asker's going to see this, and it's going to be this moment of like, she is going to decide if she thinks that she needs to help with that, or if she needs to fucking continue to beat the ass of this man.
So, it depends on what Asker's feelings are. Gojira seems to not be able to do anything, and that energy seems to be pulling him, and you, for a second, have a flash of something large, with a mouth that can swallow the world, green eyes, looking to swallow your husband.
Yeah, no, I'm getting my husband back.
So you fly up, putting all of your energy in. Let me double check
I
something.
can't imagine it makes a difference, but my 20th level power, he does get advantage on all of his death saves, as long as he is close enough to me.
This has nothing to do with that.
That's fair.
You, seeing your husbando in such perils, decide to give him a bit of hope. You come up to him, placing your magic and channeling your magic into this thing that was... Because, I will be honest, Mahout had just rolled a nat 20 on your husbando.
I figured that was
Gojira.
probably the case.
So you go and shatter this energy that had just surrounded Gojira, leaving Mahout for some time.
Well, if Mahout tries to go down to the boat, there's an equally badass, equally pregnant lady down there who will destroy his ass.
Yeah.
Done. Not done. What's Mahout's turn gonna be? He's going to start chanting something. And that is all he's going to do for this turn. What do you do, Asker?
Asker's going to pull out the net that she's had forever and just attempt to fucking distract him, and basically, like, using the spear and the net is just going to shoot it straight down on top of him, basically attempting to, knowing that the spear will disappear, but the net's going to stay, trying to entrap him in her own net as she is above him currently.
Any fate points going into that?
No.
Okay.
We're low on fate points, and that one's not very close to anything right now.
You throw it down, and he's able to dodge out of the way, and then he waves at you. I will see you later. And he vanishes.
God damn it. Ashra, I had one fate point.
Oh, no, I was telling everyone else, sorry, or I meant to say
Oh.
everyone spend your channel points, because I spent
I
the last of mine to
was
give you
going
one
to.
last one. But yeah,
So
it's okay. Soon
as-
you'll have a dragon to hunt them down.
Asker, you find yourself floating above Asda.
He's just going to hug Dragon Husbando, because I don't know how... Does he have wings to fly?
Yeah. Has his
Okay.
own wings. But he was
Okay.
able to fly up to Greed.
I wasn't sure if that was full flight, or if it was like he could extended jump and then like have to just kind of glide back down.
Nope. Full flight.
Okay.
You've seen him flying and fighting a pit fiend before.
That was a while back. I forgot. I am sorry.
You could.
Ezra is going to return to the building where he was, and in her cipher improved loud voice is just going to be, I wish to speak to the next person who wishes to take charge of this beautiful country of Azda.
I wish to speak to the next person who wishes to take charge of this beautiful country of Azda.
You watch as a small 14-year-old is looking up at you, actually. And looking up at what had all just happened. Where's my father?
Asger's going to land, still generally angelic, and just go, I am terribly sorry to have been the person to force you to have seen this, but your father decided to make a deal with monsters beyond his control, and as such, he strayed from the path of the light that we believe in. But I wish to continue to offer hope to your people as well as my own. If you would like, and you are the next ruler of this beautiful country, I would offer you a seat at my World Council, so that your problems can become our problems, and that we all can help each other to destroy these monsters so that men do not need to choose these ways.
Make a persuasion check.
I am absolutely using one of those luckies for advantage. This one is the most important. I'm going to spend that point to boost that to 30.
I,
Came in handy anyways.
Tamoon, will accept this offer. I will do my best to bring Azda to full glory. With that, Asker, you spend the next month and, well, next couple of weeks getting ready for childbirth and give birth to 2 beautiful children, as your family is known for twins.
They sure are.
Oh, I just figured something cute out. Aurora had twins because of Asgard's soul.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got that family bloodline going.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, so they are twins, but they are still different.
Mhm.
One already has the platinum blonde hair of the Asmar that you've come to familiar with. That's the one who was born second. She's a female. Otherwise looks human. The one who was born first is a red dragonborn.
I wasn't sure what our babies were gonna come out as. This
I
is fantastic.
had to make a decision, okay? And I feel like there might be an official decision somewhere along the lines for these types of things, but I don't know.
I wasn't
Dragonborn
sure
is
how
one.
you were gonna rule it, so
The Dragonborn is a male. And I will say Gojira insists to name the son after his great grandsire. And another Nefarian is born. This time as one of the technically the heir to Asger's throne.
correct.
Anything else for your last month, Asger?
Asger with the I don't remember his name in the north. Is going to begin to work on plans to create some sort of connected roadway or railway system between 1, 17, and 15. She wishes to we're going above through any which way through that mountain to better connect our two countries to truly solidify the, arrangement between the two of us.
So from
I was like, I know I can't get these things done, but I can get all
Get it
of the
started.
fucking bullshit red tape out of the way, and
is it that railway also going to Asda? So 1?
the goal would be for it to go to 15 to 7 to 1, and then 7 will have an offshoot to 11 and 16, and then to continue further into Asta from there. But that would be more along what they would wish. Asger just wishes to get something to connect, the two closely, and then we'll work more closely with their wishes, as that it is their land, and she wishes not to, not trying to take over on their land. I'm trying to help connect them so that we all can keep each other safe.
Okay.
Asger's going to also repurpose the towers of Plomine to become large-scale signal fires so that troops can know quickly where to move. The Torches of Gondor style. If dragons or bullshit are going to attack, there will be troops quickly able to come and protect our citizens.
Okay. So you work on getting all of that started. It will take time.
Oh, for sure.
But
But
for
the goal
now,
is to give our people hope.
and you did, just to be clear, when you went and saved him, that was your spark igniting.
I figured.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That being said, goodbye, Asker.
We have one last chapter.
And time for the fun part.
We're right back. I have to go wake up my husband.
Never worked out.
Even what's
Cypher. Cypher. So, we know part of what your clones are doing. How they're interfering and helping around. But what is Cypher doing?
Oh, now that's the good question. I would assume he's hunting for a certain...
You got some presents coming.
Oh.
17 fate points.
Jeebus. Thank you, thank you.
I figured those might be useful.
Well, he's definitely searching for a certain wizard that he owes a bit of payback to, and also setting up a cloning lab.
So, as you're searching for the wizard, we'll handle that first. Do you know, I believe you found out some information as to where he was. Is that true, or did you not end up hearing about that?
I don't remember when it was brought up.
Okay. Then give me an Arcana check.
I was just thinking that.
As you start to do some research, find... It's hard. But you're able to locate that currently Kai is underneath Arcadia. Currently. And there seems to be something going on with magic there.
So that is where Cypher is heading, actually.
So you take the ship up and you have them drop you off at Arcadia?
Yep.
Okay. And you find yourself there. What do? You can feel that whatever Kai's doing, it's underneath the main university that was basically in Arcadia. The Tower of Plomine that no longer is a light was surrounded by the university, and whatever Kai's doing, it's underneath both of those, like somewhere down there.
Cypher is going to head that way. No sneaking, no nothing. Just one fellow wizard seeking to talk to another wizard.
Okay. You find there are some who recognize you as that you actually did some studying here and moving around with as you were trying to find a way to get into the wizard's tower. So some of your old professors are like, "Oh, Cypher."
Oh, just thought I would see the old stomping grounds. It's a new world and all that fun stuff.
It is. And they don't seem to have any notice of because you can feel magic is being altered right now.
Yeah.
So you end up finding your way. You get to this point where you're like, and you pull a book and you watch as the wall just moves.
How cliche, the hidden book. I would have gone with something more extravagant. Maybe a chess set where you had to put the pieces in the right order. Oh, but we can't all be creative.
So you start to head down and you find, as you're not really stealthily, Kai is aware of you. But he's sitting, moving his hands around, and you see like this weave of magical energy in front of him as he's just altering things. I see that I have a visitor now.
I thought I'd come to repay you for helping us. I've gathered the gist of what you're trying to accomplish and thought I could lend my aid.
Why would you help me with what I'm doing?
Oh, I too had a thought of transformation. It drove me a little crazy. Opened my eyes on many things. So I thought I would help you acquire a transformation.
Alright, put everything away. And I realize now I probably... There we go. Yeah. Might be important to have, There we go. Stats. You want to give me that either deception or persuasion check?
I have not told a lie.
It's true. But deceiving
guess-
can be multiple types of deceiving.
No, I guess I will go with deception. Oh, hate to do it, but I'm gonna pump 13 fate points into that.
Straight. Okay. He seems to believe you. I've
Well,
gotten
surely.
most of the ritual done already. I'm about to take the power. If I see you trying to interfere with that, you will join your master. And you see his sword kind of glitter with a sparkle.
I will begin to help with the ritual.
Just straight helping?
Till the very end.
Yeah.
At the key moment, when he takes the power in, I'm going to add my own little touch in there.
So, it takes about another 72 hours. And you're undead.
Yeah, I don't sleep.
As far as you know, Kai is not undead, and he has no problem. And you kind of get the feeling he's been at this for over 2 months. You kind of see somewhere under his eyes. And it gets to the point where he's about to coalesce the ritual, and the magic is right there. And he's putting his hand out to it. What are you doing?
And as he begins to absorb it, I must do a spell check. Oh, it's a 9th level spell, so that will succeed.
Cool.
I'm just going to add a simple little touch to the spell. A simple wish to restore that which has been lost.
I'm going to need 3 DC 30 Arcana checks.
I like Asker's face.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I'll have to add 5 fate points to that one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Go for
as he's taking this in, and as you put in this wish, you see him notice it with a gasp on his face as blue energy enters into his body. Your next check, please.
I can do it. I can spend 13, but I'll
I'm putting
have...
5 into that. I'm taking my 10 that I have left
Oh.
and giving him 5 to it.
Okay,
Okay,
so
So you don't have to spend as much.
that's
Yeah.
22.
I'll spend 8. I've got 9 left.
Let me just give you some more just in case.
Spend those channel points.
I don't want.
6
I
more.
need to keep some more points, but he's getting 2 more. There you go.
And 5 more, so 11 more points total from that. And so are you spending, she put 5, so 22, are you spending 8?
Yes.
So, blue, Hawthorne, fall, or Rowan fall. That would be an orange, because he's red, an orange hue, poof! Oh, Cypher! And give me your last one.
Come on, baby. Oh, I will spend my last of my fate points, basically.
And a green wave just poof!
Wait, Cypher has a line for this. No one should ever be alone.
Yes! Oh my god!
The energy enters into him. I'm going to kill you! And he just launches a wave of magic energy into you, obliterating your body. Little does he know. Yeah.
Some spares.
A week later.
So I have to ask, what would you classify
Hashtag
that
worth.
wish as? Do I have to roll to lose wish or not?
Yes. Especially with who you just used the wish on.
Alright, there's a 33% chance, and it's a D100.
That's good. And that's nice.
Very, very apt number you got there, Cypher. Because you really fucked Kai over.
I thought you would appreciate the first use of wish.
Yeah.
No,
So-
that was so good. Just bringing it back to the start.
1 week, 2 weeks. It's been about 2 weeks, so it's been 3 weeks into this. And Zastrava, you're just sitting there with your family, and you just watch as a cipher coalesces right in front of you.
Oh. Woo!
Convenient.
Estrella, it's been a while. What have I missed?
Well, you want to go grab a pint? I've got some interesting things to talk to you about.
Hmm.
And I will say this is like right after you just sent your bird to go find him.
Also, you're gonna get a bat.
Or
Oh,
that.
I do like bats. I haven't seen one in a while. About 3 weeks, give or take.
Yeah, I'm sure it's quite confused bat at this point.
Hmm.
But in any case, we've got some things to talk about.
I'm always intrigued. Cypher will, of course, listen, and after our he's like, yes, I will look into that after I deal with the Asker clones. If you excuse me, I must head back to Rolla.
Asker clones?
She's a reckless queen, and I need insurance.
Uh-huh.
Cypher will now head to Rolla.
How are you getting to roll a cipher?
Can we say one of the objectives of my clone was to restore a magic gate in Rolla for me?
I would say that there's... I mean, you can also just use Wish to teleport.
Well, I don't like to abuse Wish. It's a...
Using Wish as a lower level spell slot doesn't cause you to almost lose it.
Yeah. So yeah, I will just teleport to Rolla then.
That's the benefits of Wish.
Alright, I don't blow up Zastrava's house. So you're talking to Cypher 1 second and whew,
Classic Cypher.
So you're going about creating a clone of Asker.
well, I'm going about creating 3 clone bats. If anyone asks me, they're for Asker.
Oh? If anyone asks you, they're for Asker?
Yes.
Who are they actually for?
Well, if you recall, at the beginning of Cypher's career, he has 3 souls tethered to him, and he promised them bodies when he gained the power.
True. Nice.
It's also why he's keeping an eye on Aurora. Because he will need some life to go into that. Sadly, not his domain.
Well, go ahead
There
and give
probably
me...
will be a secret 4th bat, though, with an Asker clone in it. The more I think about that.
How long does that take?
The clone?
Yeah. The creating the vats.
I think it says like 3 months to create bats. And there are 3 of me, so about
3
6
months?
months to get it all done.
Okay. Alright. So give me 3 Arcana checks. 4 Arcana checks.
Let's see here. 1.
Good.
Ooh.
Good. Risky.
Ugh.
Fine with that clone is an 8th level spell if I remember right.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah. You're good.
The Asker clone looks a little weird, but he's okay with it. It's probably 10 years older than it needs to be. And you're like, can't win them all.
Nice. So you're 7 months in. What else do you do? What's your next thing?
He will be repurposing the old Ellen towers, or Cloaming towers, to fill his dread realm with the souls of the living and dead. You know, preferably just the dead, but I'm sure there's a mistake here and there every now and then.
So, as you're starting to do that, or trying to figure out, you notice, as you found out, the dead aren't going to where they're supposed to be going. Something is swallowing all of the dead.
Yes. He plans to redirect that process to his little realm. In
Nothing-
areas he can. He knows it's not possible to cover the world. They can at least keep some areas safe.
For the most part, give me an Arcana check before I say
Oh, come on.
7.
I'll put 3 fate points into that, because 30 seems to be the magic number.
So, as you're putting this energy into it, just something is stopping it. And it seems like it's trying to overpower your magic and your pull. You feel a pull that you should be able to do this. What you've set up, as you use because you're looking at the arcane magic as no one's really stopping you from going to a dormant tower anymore.
Yeah.
You're able to see that there is, like, all of the towers were connected to each other. It wasn't as obvious before, but with how the ritual, how you understand it, they took one flame from one tower, went to another to create a new tower. And that created an arcane link to them all. So, with this setup, it should be working. But something is overpowering that setup.
Intriguing. He has a plan. Can I teleport someone to me? Is there a spell that lets me teleport someone?
Who are you trying to teleport?
I'm pretty sure you can teleport with someone, though that may give them a save if they don't want to go.
Don't you also have the clone summonings for Shirku and the others?
It depends on what you're trying to do. But I have to ask.
I want to go get Aster to recreate the base form, the divine flame, and then Cypher will tamper with it with arcane magic and a little bit of death.
At this point, you're 6 months, 7 months in. Asker is currently fighting on the front lines as your clone is. You have a clone with Asker right now, so you see that your clone and her are helping fight the front lines right now.
Unfortunate. He's kept tabs on people. Who's all achieved godhood at the 7-month mark?
Aurora, Zastrava, Ashra.
Astro, because my fight ended pretty quickly. I went first.
Yeah.
I just,
You've-
I finished that punk out in like a month.
And let's see. Shirku has gotten it by Shirku just would have gotten it. You felt the spark. Well, Cairo and Aster Hawthorne has it. You felt, because you guys specifically can feel the pull. Someone else has gotten it. A different 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 other people have also gotten it that you're just not familiar enough with them.
Too early for my friends. Too early.
Oh dang, I'm not your friend. Then again, that is probably fair. I've been eating your clones infringing on my island.
No, you deal with. He knows you're not the type he needs for it. He needs someone more divine. But
I
without,
mean, there's Aurora, but I think she's still in like
oh,
pregnancy stage, so she
he's
probably
got a
left
different
battle.
favor for you.
Oh no.
Yes. Well, it worked once. Can I use a wish spell to try to overpower the force?
Yes, you can. You can wish for anything. But the outcomes of a wish are...
Well, thou cast the wish, and then I'm guessing an arcane check.
what is it? What are you wishing?
I'm wishing to restore the divine essence of the towers, because there has to be a little bit of that spark left on them.
Okay. So there is still a little bit of... That's the divine power is the force that connects them all.
Okay.
So
He's trying to reignite that.
okay. And are you trying to reignite that in line with purpose of doing what you want to do with it?
Yes. Basically, to give the arcane a bit of a divine touch, so it can be a bit stronger to deal with what's ever trying to prevent him from accomplishing his goal.
Okay. Give me 2 things. Arcana. First, the Arcana check.
25.
And then a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, that was one I was afraid you were going to ask for. Huh. When? Oh yeah, I'm trained in wisdom. I just don't use it a lot. Oh. I can bump it up to a 19, but I don't know if that's enough.
I don't have any more points.
I know. I sadly gotta roll with that 12. I don't think it's worth bumping it up to a 19.
Can I give them one of my advantages?
No.
Oh, I tried.
So, Cypher, your wish goes through. You do connect all of the sparks. This tower connects to that tower. All of that spark is fully reignited. But, you have drawn the full attention. For you guys, this. For the stream, this.
Oh.
As your spark goes through and starts to light all of them up, you see what is holding your spark right now. You see what is absorbing everything. You see Thazum, the world breaker.
You want to tag team with Asher now?
All of those eyes are the green eyes of Lestrade. The circles with the mirrors shattered. The tentacle up above calls the souls to it, and it just swallows them whole. And then it sees you. And your psyche is shattered.
Oh no. There's not a lot of psyche there left to shatter.
It's true. But you go insane for the next 5 months.
Oh no.
And with that,
Uh-oh.
we're going to leave you on tonight's session. As
Oh.
Cypher, you wake from your insanity at the bottom of one of the Tower of Rolla. And you know what you need to take care of. You know whose help you need to take care of it.
Yep.
The Defenders of the Flame will be back in a couple of weeks. to deal with Thazum, the world breaker. Have a good night, stream.